Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we delve into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Sammons, and in each episode we'll uncover the stories behind successful startups, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today we're joined by Olga Zippa, the founder of Next Day Executives, a business operations consultancy dedicated to helping entrepreneurs streamline processes, establish structure, and move from chaos to control. With a unique journey that began in the performing arts and pivoted into systems and operations, Olga has built a company focused on empowering small business owners to slice, debate, implement effective tools, and scale with confidence. Olga, very warm welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you. What an introduction. I don't know how you found the performing arts part, but it's true.
Well, I did some deep searching with my friend AI.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably came up quite quickly that I used to be in acting.
Maybe we can touch on that because I do want to get into a bit of like your founding journey. So I like to start with my guests at the start. So what inspired you to create Next Day Executives, and then what was it that you was doing beforehand that can maybe have played a role in that?
So I was, before I started my business, I was an actress in Vancouver. Right away, being an actress, I had to balance acting and auditioning with a job that actually paid.
Yeah.
So I found very quickly like how to systemize my whole entire life so I could work two jobs, have a life, travel, work out, and all of that. I became very granular with systems and just making, I guess, every single second count because I didn't have that much time to left. So that's where my love for systems came in. But I've also had a operations and organizational mindset. I guess when I left the acting world and I started my business, I knew it had to be something around systems, saving entrepreneurs time and just
Yeah.
making their life easier than it was without kind of structure.
Love it. And then, so how long was it ago that we started up the company? Where are we on from there?
2 years ago. It was 2 years last, yeah, in June 2 years ago. So it started as a very kind of open operational side, and then I specialized in systems and operations more. It was more admin than anything starting off, like while I was trying to figure out what direction I wanted to go in.
Yeah.
Very quickly, I realized like the lack of systems from business owner drove me crazy. And that's when
Oh.
I was like, okay, we need to put in systems here.
I am a fellow lover of systems and operations. I just think organization, even if it looks like organized chaos, organization is always key to success, in my opinion. So I'm very much in the same kind of boat as you from there. But I do want to dive into what the business looks like today. But so the listeners can have more context. So what is the core offer and what would it be like to work with you if we was to?
So for me, I there's two sides of me. There's the done for you systems where I'm the one that actually goes in, audits, sees what you're missing as a business owner, and then I implement the systems. So it could be like the client management side, it could be the project management side, it could be just even simple systems that is just let's say projects. I really like to focus on projects. So like assigning someone like a ClickUp or Asana and getting them away from managing their team through WhatsApp messages or Slack and
Yeah.
actually having an actual tool. And that can only house all the projects, but have a place where you can make sure that you're on time, that your team members know what you're doing. So that's that side, the done for you, where I set up the actual systems. And then I pivoted or I shifted a little bit into the consulting side. So now business owners come to me where I can consult them on what they can improve, give them the ideas and the tools, and then they go and implement it themselves. So there's two sides of it, and I do both equally. Like I like the mix of two. I don't just like teaching or consulting. I actually like to be in the middle of it and setting up the automations and setting up all the nitty gritty that a lot of people hate to do.
It's fun. Someone's got to do it. So I appreciate that it's you probably most of the time.
I love it. I love it.
Great. And then, so in terms of that, when you're with a client, do you walk into the business and then see that there's not much going on and implement the systems and operations that you want to put in that you think will help? Or is it just more improving on what they've got there already?
Honestly, depends on the client. Some
Okay.
clients, when I go in, like every single client that I start off, we start up an audit because obviously, if I can't see
Yeah.
what's going on, it's very hard for me to one, build something or consult them on it. So we do an audit, and it's funny, like I'd say about 40% of people have decent systems, but they just need tweaking to make it even better. Where 60% either have none or have really outdated systems that might have worked 10 years ago or 5 years ago. But obviously, with the improvement of AI and how fast everything is moving there, that have to implement something from scratch. So it really depends on the systems. Like it's very quickly I can tell what's working and what's not. If someone tells me they're still managing their team through WhatsApp or Slack channels, then I'm like, okay, we definitely need a new system in place because that's Slack is communication. It's not a managing
Yeah.
tool. So it depends to answer your question. Yeah.
Cool. So again, customizable depending on what everyone's need and wishes are moving forward. So who would you say is your ideal customer? Who would you be loved to work with?
So predominantly I've been working with service-based industries so far. I've done a few audits and setups for product, but mainly I like to focus on the service part. And the reason being is one of my main kind of focuses is improving the client experience. Not only do we set up systems that helps the actual founder themselves and frees up their time, but is how can we set it up that the end customer on their end has the best experience, that they one come back to them over and over again, or screams from the rooftops like how great it was to work with that person. So obviously client experience means clients means service. I don't really have an ideal industry to say, but I do love predominantly working with service based. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice. And then in terms of acquiring customers yourself, how do you go about doing that? Are there any channels or methods that you found most effective?
For me, I've been really lucky with referrals. I'm not going to lie, 95% of my clients come from word of mouth, which obviously is amazing. It means I'm doing something right with my clients if I get kind of their friends, their clients.
100%.
Like I just set up a ClickUp system for a podcast studio not long ago, and they referred me to three of their clients because their clients saw the ClickUp that was set up for them, and so that was nice. But referrals, Instagram is a lot of newer faces for me, and I'm dabbling a little bit with LinkedIn, but I ignored LinkedIn for a bit at the start of my business because I used to be in recruiting. So LinkedIn used to be my focus. And then I got so sick of it that I'm like, okay, I need to put it to the side for a bit.
Bringing back some trauma points on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah. So I took a bit of a break. So I'm restarting my LinkedIn now with a new kind of
Love it.
mindset.
Love it. And then in terms of were you saying you're touching on IG and LinkedIn as well, are you running any form of ads or is this mainly just cold on organic outreach coming from there?
No cold outreaches at all. I'm not a fan of cold outreaches. Never been. It's like when it's done to me, I have a little bit of
Fair
ick to
enough.
it unless it's very compelling. So I actually don't do any cold. I'm very organic. So like I will build a relationship with someone. I will become a friend to them before I'm like, oh, hey, here's my services. How can I help you? And that's just my preference. There's nothing wrong with cold. It's just not for me in this time anyway. And ads, no, I actually haven't dabbled in ads at all. I
Okay.
haven't had the need to yet, but it's definitely something that I would look into. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. I mean, as you scale, it'll be the great thing to add on top because you've got great referrals, you're saying, nice organic reach so far as well. So it'd be the next thing to push it to that ultimate level. And then in terms of your marketing and sales side of things, do you have a team that you work with, or is it just you as a kind of entrepreneur wearing many hats, doing
I do
everything?
have a team. I
Okay.
have a team. I have a social media manager who helps me immensely. That was probably one of the best things I outsourced because you know yourself, content takes a
Yeah,
lot of time.
it does.
A
Too
lot
much
of
time.
time. Yeah, so like even now, just before we got on the call, I just got 4 edited reels sent back to me to
Love it.
approve, and it's just like that probably saved me easily 2 hours because I'm a perfectionist too. So I'll be here editing a reel and I'm making sure that the right second and everything. So I'm like, you know what, take that off my plate. I don't need it. So I do have a team in terms of social media management. I have a VA who also helps with ideation and a bit of copywriting. And then I have a system associate under me to help me with system builds or kind of the nitty-gritty parts that I don't need to do personally. I can
Mhm.
just give to someone else.
Okay, cool. And then in terms of the sales side of things, do you ever run sales calls yourself? So have you hopped on any of them, or how does that side of it work?
Yeah, I actually do all the sales myself. Yeah, I haven't given that responsibility to anyone else. So
And
I like connecting with a potential client For me, it's I work with someone in such close proximity for 2 to 3 months at a time. So I want to see first of all, do we connect as humans before I take that person on? There's nothing worse than really bad clients.
And you're the one that's got to work with them for 3 to 4 months. So great that you're
Exactly.
vetting them from the first moment that you can. Do you enjoy
Exactly.
them though? Are they something that you enjoy doing?
You know what I do? I do
Yeah.
because I don't look at sales calls as sales calls. I look at it as a conversation between two business owners, and if and very quickly, like I'm the type of person that I will never push anything that I know is not meant for them.
Yeah.
So for me, it's very quickly I can be like, okay, I can actually offer you something or I cannot. I'm very straight to the point. If I can't, I'll refer you to someone amazing that can. But because of that, I love them. Like I don't put pressure on myself the way some business owners, we
Yeah.
can put that pressure that we have to close a certain amount of leads, or I just let it flow and it works for me.
Nice.
Really.
That's good to hear, especially getting the enjoyment side out of it as well, because I feel that adds to just like the overall experience of taking the sales calls. You have to enjoy them to have a good result from them, and the way you're saying completely makes sense. So let's talk about the next 12 months. What does the future look like for you? And there are any specific milestones or kind of targets that you're aiming to work towards?
Ooh, there's a lot that I have in mind. One of the first things that comes to mind, I would definitely like to take myself out of the business a little bit more. So either, I don't know if it's agency based, but it's definitely going to be reducing my time, just starting a family and whatnot in the next couple of years. I want to prepare myself that I'm not the only one that needs to be involved to actually run the business, because as a solopreneur and as a small team, it does rely on us. So I guess that's my biggest goal in the next 12 months, is to get the business to a stage where it doesn't rely on me 24/7. Not that it does now, but less than it does
I
now.
Yeah, I understand it. As you say, as a founder, you take on a lot of roles and responsibilities, and the best way generally to be positioned is working on the business and not in the business yourself. Just having more
Right.
time to sit back and do what you need to do. So, is there any kind of plans in place to help you achieve that? Or what would you say the biggest challenge is getting that done at the moment?
That's a good question. Biggest challenge I would probably say is letting go. As a founder and it's your company, it's sometimes hard to let go of not control, but I like it my way. I know I
Yeah,
do a good job. I think it's sometimes is letting go of not being as involved to and make sure that it, like the quality of work, the products that we
yeah,
give, the service that we give remains at the high level and the high standards that is I'm used to. So I think that's the hardest thing, but I think that's more of a mental
100%.
block that I need to just
100%.
let go of.
100%. And it's probably a mental block coming from someone that likes systems operations is like a very organized mental block to have as well. So just letting the reins go and the baby loose.
Yeah.
I can understand being quite scary.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that it's in the right hands, and like I do have the system in place and the training in place to make sure it does well, but it's just I think for me still in the back of my mind is no one else can do it better than I can, even though there is people that can do it probably better than I can.
Probably they just won't do it to maybe the standards that you're thinking of, but I think if you have the right processes and procedures in place, they will hit them anyway. So just
Yeah,
make sure your
yeah,
side of it's up there and they'll work on their side of it. Is the way to do it. Amazing. So just
exactly.
before we wrap up, I want to move into a bit of a lightning round. So what is one tool or resource that you found being a big game changer in the business so far?
For me, it has to be ClickUp. ClickUp is my everything, my thoughts, my brain, my projects, my team management. Everything is relying, like my day to day is on ClickUp. So I wouldn't be able to run my business the way I do and keep a sane head and travel to 17 countries this year alone and run a business if it wasn't for ClickUp
Yeah.
to keep me in in place.
Yeah, get you clicked up. I get it. Amazing.
Literally.
If you was to go back 2 years to a younger self and leave her with one bit of advice or encouragement moving forward, what would that be?
Trust yourself more. Just trust that you know what it's like, even if you don't know what's around the corner or you don't know how to do something, just trust yourself more, because I know I'll figure it out. So it's just been like, stop doubting yourself and just trust your gut.
Love it.
Yeah.
Just come with it. Do it. Love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we log off, Olga, where can people reach out to week with you, to work with you, and connect if they'd like to?
So Instagram's probably the easiest one, and it's at nextday.executive, or LinkedIn at Olga Zippa as well. I think that's the best area to reach me.
Amazing. And with that is a wrap on another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Olga, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your incredible insight and journey with us. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you really want to enhance your business and scale your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we were able to go from 0 to 30 million in less than 3 years. And until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.